Thanks for watching this edition of the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch Digital Exclusive. I'm Dave Froehlich. We're taking a look at some of the crime stories that have made headlines recently in our area. The Austin Police Department is investigating the city's 5th homicide this year, which happened about a mile away from another homicide. Here's more from Fox 7 Austin's Jessica Rivera.
Good afternoon. This incident happened around 6 a.m. this morning, just minutes after APD cleared up the homicide scene in the North Lamar location. We were told calls came in around 6 in the morning about multiple shots fired and medical assistance needed. This happened around the 9800 block of Middle Fiskville Road. EMS arrived quickly on scene. They found a male Hispanic or white man with obvious injuries. They attempted to save him, but he died on scene. This is the second homicide APD responded to within 12 hours.
There was another homicide within the same patrol sector, so a natural question would be if these two incidents are related. Right now, all information available indicates that they're isolated, they're not related to each other. Of course, if they were, we would push that information out if there was a threat to the public.
Once again, APD says that these are isolated incidents. If you have any information on either of these incidents, please reach out to the homicide tip line. This is being investigated as the city's 5th homicide this year. Reporting in North Austin, I'm Jessica Rivera, Fox 7 Austin News.
Car was left sticking out of an apartment bedroom after a 14-year-old drove into the building in San Marcos. People have been moved out as a structural engineer assesses the damage. Here's more on that story from Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis.
A car frozen in place, exactly where it came to a stop Thursday night. Just before 8:30, San Marcos police and firefighters rushed to the 1856 apartments. Inside the car, 2 14-year-old girls. Inside the bedroom, thankfully no one.
It is rented and it is normally occupied, but in this case, the apartment renter was not at home.
Police say the teens' original explanation didn't match the damage.
The officers were told that the car was stationary, they were listening to the radio, and then suddenly the vehicle somehow ended up in drive and drove into the apartment.
Police say the evidence, including the skid marks, reveals a different story.
I do believe it is safe to assume that speed is going to be a factor. Speed accompanied by the inability to navigate that turn.
Chief Standridge says the car belongs to a family member. The crash is currently being investigated as a felony, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. He says the girls' mothers were interviewed at the scene, and investigators are looking at whether parents could share responsibility.
Ultimately, somebody needs to be held criminally responsible.
The impact didn't just tear through one apartment. It shut down the entire building.
And so the investigation is one piece of it, but the reality is this required a much larger response across the city of San Marcos, because you have to get building officials involved, you have to get electric utilities involved, you have to get the gas company involved.
The residents have been moved to other units in the complex as structural engineers determine if and when the car can be removed and when it's safe for families to return home.
So it's going to take a while to get all of those services back up and running. I would just ask for the community's patience as city building officials work to ensure the safety of all persons while that building is eventually reoccupied.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin News.
20-year-old man has been arrested in connection to the homicide at the Cambria Hotel in downtown on January 5th. Investigators say Maximilian Salinas shot and killed 19-year-old Luke Bradburn after Bradburn had crashed Salinas' car. Police say Salinas shot Bradburn at the hotel. Salinas was arrested the next day and charged with murder. Funeral services were held for a Caldwell County deputy constable who was shot and killed earlier this month. Aaron Armstrong's life was taken as he worked as a security guard outside a North Austin bar. Here's more from Fox 7 Austin's Rudy Koski.
Law enforcement officers from all across Texas gathered at Shoreline Church Tuesday morning for the memorial service honoring Deputy Constable Aaron Armstrong. Described as a big man with a big heart, Armstrong joined the Caldwell County Precinct 3 Constable's office back in 2024 after serving with the Smithville Police Department. Constable Michael Bell was among the first to speak.
Aaron made the ultimate sacrifice, giving his life and service to others. His courage and selflessness are a remember of the risk of our deputies face every day and the bravery it takes to stand in harm's way for the sake of others.
Deputy Armstrong was shot and killed January 4th while working an off-duty security job in North Austin. The alleged gunman was caught, but as the judicial process has begun, family members are still dealing with the loss.
I still can't believe my brother's gone. I'm still in denial. Hopefully in the coming days it will sink in. His friends have been constantly coming up to me and telling how much Aaron has meant to them, what he's given, and how he's helped people.
A pipe and drum corps brought the service outside, where traditional honors were made. The flag, which was over Armstrong's casket, was folded and given to his family. During the service, his sister-in-law read several of the comments that have been made on social media sites.
Another post that someone had put said that Aaron gave freely of himself. He let friends, kids wrestle and roughhouse with them, taught them gun safety, shared his love of guitars and music. He offered his time, his knowledge, and anything else that that he had to people he cared about. He was the one you could count on, no matter the ask.
The ceremony included a missing man formation flyover and a final dispatch.
Deputy Aaron Armstrong began his tour of duty on December 5th, 2011, ended his tour of duty on January 4th, 2026. On the delegated authority of Sergeant O's of the Caldwell County Constable's Office, badge number 2305 is officially retired. Deputy Aaron Armstrong, 2305, 1042.
The motorcade to Armstrong's gravesite in Belton rolled through Round Rock. Several on-ramps to northbound I-35 were closed, allowing some motorists to get out of their cars and watch as the long processional passed by. Rudy Koski, Fox 7 Austin News.
Travis County District Attorney Jose Garza says a hearing to exonerate the 4 men initially accused in the yogurt shop murders has been set. New evidence proved serial killer Robert Brashers was the man who committed the 1991 quadruple murder. Brashers died by suicide in 1999. Michael Scott, Robert Springsteen, Maurice Peterson, and Forrest Welborn were the initial suspects, and they were convicted of the murders in 1999. Pierce's case was dismissed, but he was later killed in a shooting with police in 2010. Springsteen and Scott were convicted and spent nearly 11 years behind bars before their convictions were reversed due to constitutional deficiencies during the course of their trials. Forrest Welborn's case was no-billed 2 times by a grand jury. The hearing to officially clear their names has been set for February 19th. Meanwhile, Garza is defending his approach to prosecuting police accused of excessive force. This comes after a state appeals court overturned the deadly conduct conviction of former Austin police officer Christopher Taylor, a decision Garza says his office plans to challenge. Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis has more.
In a rare move, the 7th Court of Appeals overturned the deadly conduct conviction of former Austin Police Detective Christopher Taylor and entered a judgment of acquittal. The court ruling Taylor acted reasonably during the 2019 shooting of Morris Da Silva, who was experiencing a mental health crisis and was holding a knife in the hallway of a downtown condo.
Every officer and every citizen has a fundamental right to self-defense when faced with a lethal threat, regardless of the attacker's mental state.
Travis County District Attorney Jose Garza saying the appellate court's decision weakens the role of local juries.
What happened ultimately is that a conservative court from a far-flung part of the state replaced the judgment of jurors, of community members right here in Travis County with their own judgment. We don't think that is appropriate, but most importantly, we don't think it is in compliance with the law. And so we will be challenging that decision.
It'll be a futile attempt to try to salvage a victory when the appeals court decision is such a smackdown.
Taylor's defense attorney, Doug O'Connell, saying this was a politically motivated prosecution by Garza.
He ran on a campaign of targeting police officers.
Back in 2022, Garza reiterating his philosophy for prosecuting use of force cases involving Austin police officers.
The change that I promised to make when I ran for office was that when it comes to allegations of police violence, that we would let our community decide when that conduct was unlawful and when a law enforcement officer should be held accountable for that conduct. And that's what we've done. The change we have made that the prior administration didn't do is to present those cases to a grand jury and let the grand jury decide.
Garza has indicted 27 police officers. Many of the charges have since been dropped. 3 officers have taken plea deals. Garza saying those cases show his office has followed through on its promise to pursue accountability.
We have an obligation not to turn a blind eye when there is allegations of excessive force.
Critics argue those outcomes differ sharply from jury trials involving officer-involved shootings, where Garza's office has yet to secure a conviction.
We're going to continue to make sure our community can look at these cases and make these decisions so that they can say clearly what the values are that they expect law enforcement officers in our community to carry out their duties with.
Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin, Crime Watch.
Copperas Cove officers have escorted the body of Officer Elijah Garrettson back from Temple. He was killed in the line of duty January 10th. The suspected shooter took his own life after a standoff. Details on the initial confrontation are limited. Texas Rangers are investigating. An Austin man is continuing to look for answers after his food truck was stolen. Roy Lotz had saved up for years to buy this trailer. When it was recovered, it had more than $50,000 in damage. Here's more from Fox 7 Austin's Marco Bittnell.
This business is my world. It's my baby. I've been in this business for 10 years.
For over a decade, Roy Lotz has been pursuing his passion of serving up smoky barbecue, a passion that led him to buy his first food truck in 2024.
I bought a food truck last year, and this is the proudest moment I've ever had in my whole life. This has been my dream for a long time.
But it was a dream that was short-lived.
Until this day, I'm just so traumatized.
This is video taken back in 2024, the day after Christmas. 2 thieves can be seen taking off with Lotz's food truck in southeast Austin.
I stopped by to get a few things out of the trailer, and I came in and I was like, oh, wait a minute. I was just devastated.
After help from the community and an anonymous tip, the Lotz barbecue trailer was found in Elgin days later, but had over $50,000 in losses.
And when I saw the trailer, I felt violated. Everything was destroyed.
A year later, Lotz Barbecue is back on its feet, but the ones responsible for the theft still haven't been caught.
I have anxiety. On a day-to-day basis, I'm so worried about it happening again. This is my livelihood, and they stole all that.
Lotz says there's been almost no updates from APD in the case as he continues to look for answers.
To be honest with you, I feel really disappointed. Yes, what goes through my mind is is it because I'm deaf? The detectives are not doing anything. I'm trying to push them to do their job a little bit. I know there's a lot of cases out there, but it's been a year, and no email, no correspondence.
When we talked to Lotz last week, he said that APD had just recently got back in contact to question some of the witnesses to the trailer's theft. But he's still wondering what took them so long.
I had to contact the news, I had to do all these outreaches, and then finally they're, giving me a response. So, and on the other side, I'm not sure if I can trust that anymore,
Lotz now keeps his food truck in a storage facility out of fear of it being stolen again. But as he waits for the thieves to hopefully be caught, his barbecue isn't going anywhere.
I'm determined. With my, rolled up my sleeves, and I just kept going forward, and here I am today.
In other news, January 20th marked 24 years since 19-year-old Rachel Cook was last seen alive in Georgetown. She was home in Texas for winter break from college in California. On January 10th, 2002, she went for a run, left her Georgetown home around 9 in the morning. The last people who saw her were her neighbors about 200 yards from her house. Over the last 2 decades, investigators have checked out suspects in a white Trans Am seen in the area, but no one has been arrested or charged in connection with the disappearance. Cook's family and detectives still aren't giving up the search.
We feel confident that somebody out there knows something about what happened to Rachel. And it's either somebody who heard something, saw something, maybe they didn't think it was germane at the time, didn't think it was important.
Today, Rachel Cook would be 43 years old. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $50,000 for information that would help them find her. If you have any information, you can call the FBI tip line number you see right there on your screen. Well, 2 people have been arrested for shootings that happened during New Year's Eve parties in Central Texas. Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis has that story.
2 New Year's Eve parties involving teens in Central Texas, both ending in gunfire. A little before midnight, Round Rock police showed up to a party at the Platinum Event Center off Chisholm Trail Road in Round Rock. They received reports about underage drinking and tried to, quote, break everything up. About 100 to 200 people started running out of the party. Court documents say a little after midnight, shots rang out. Police talked to a man at the party who had blood on his right hand. They searched his car and found a bloody handgun in his trunk. Police say he didn't provide a logical or reasonable explanation for having it, but was allowed to leave. When police reviewed surveillance footage, they found that same man was the one who shot 5 juveniles. His name is Javion Wright. Apparently, 2 groups of people were arguing in the alleyway. Wright was just watching until he pulled out his gun and shot at least 12 times at one of the groups of people, continuing to fire his gun at them while they tried to run away. The 20-year-old was booked into the Williamson County Jail a few days later and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, mass shooting. The other shooting happening at around 1:30 on New Year's Day at an event center in the Center Business Park off North Lamar Boulevard in North Austin.
Officers responded. When they arrived, they observed a young individual with obvious trauma to their chest.
Police say a fight broke out at the party. Then 19-year-old Alton Williams shot and killed 18-year-old Isaiah Atkinson. He was arrested on Wednesday, charged with murder, and is also being held in jail for an out-of-county misdemeanor.
There are new developments in the death of Texas A&M student Brianna Aguilera, who was found dead in West Campus in late November. The Buzbee law firm recently held a press conference to address the case. Here's more from Fox 7 Austin's Katie Pratt.
The investigation remains active more than a month after Texas A&M student Brianna Aguilera was found dead on a sidewalk outside of the 21 Rio apartments in West Campus. As questions surround the events leading up to Aguilera's death, her parents want to know what happened to their daughter that night after the Horns versus Aggies rivalry matchup.
We believe even more today that this was not a suicide as been suggested by the police. This was either an accident or something much more sinister.
During Tuesday's press conference, a UT student who lives across the hall shared what she remembers.
Eventually, the loud noises and arguments, screaming stopped. I could still hear conversations going on in Natalie's apartment. My understanding is Natalie immediately vacated her apartment after Brianna died.
According to APD, Aguilera reportedly had too much to drink at a tailgate, lost her phone, and was asked to leave.
Brianna borrowed a phone of a friend to call an out-of-town boyfriend. Witnesses heard Brianna arguing on the phone with her boyfriend. This call occurred at approximately 12:43 to 12:44 a.m., approximately 1 minute. This is 2 minutes before the 911 call of the body found down below on the pavement.
Previously, we were told that the people inside the apartment had been asleep for several hours, didn't know where Brianna was, and didn't know that she was really even missing until 12 the next day.
Rodriguez was one of the people Fox 7 interviewed at the apartments when this all happened.
The way we found her is she gave an interview to a local news station the day after, or 2 days after this happened. It's not like she's been hid away anywhere.
We reached out to APD to confirm whether they had tried to contact Rodriguez. However, they would only say that the investigation is ongoing. Buzbee continued to criticize the department's handling of the investigation and maintains that this wasn't a suicide. That's despite APD's initial statement that it is.
Every investigation, we have to rely on the evidence, and all evidence in this case is indicative of suicide.
Regardless, nothing has been made official yet, as the Travis County Medical Examiner's Office has not released its findings. Buzbee says their findings are inconsistent with the timeline of events that APD laid out in its December press conference.
We've discovered that if you ask the boyfriend, that the last time he actually spoke to Brianna was at 9:44 p.m., not, as they suggest, at 12:43. Their timeline is completely trash.
On behalf of Brianna Aguilera's parents, the Buzbee law firm is seeking at least $1 million in damages. The wrongful death suit was filed Monday night against the organizers of the tailgate that Aguilera and her friends went to before she died, Austin Blacks Rugby and UT Latin Economics and Business Association. The legal documents claim that the suit is due to the, quote, defendant's egregious illegal over-serving of minors, which ultimately led to the death of a 19-year-old college student.
This young woman rarely drank. She didn't engage in self-harm. She wasn't suicidal. She was active in the Texas A&M Pre-Law Society. She had plans to be a lawyer.
A Hays County corrections officer has been arrested for DWI. Police say Officer Isaiah Tiger was arrested in Buda near I-35 and Royston Road. An internal investigation is underway with the Hays County Sheriff's Office while the criminal investigation continues. In the meantime, Officer Tiger has been placed on administrative leave. Some recent confusion for students in Manor over signs posted outside of restaurants in the area. Here's more on that story from Fox 7 Austin's Katie Pratt.
Restaurants, I feel like they don't really have no say-so. Like, they don't have no say-so what we can and can't do. I know it's their restaurant, but like, you want customers, we trying to eat, so why not serve us?
The confusion sparked over these flyers posted at the front entrances of local restaurants.
So I was a student back then. I graduated in 23, but honestly, it's kind of surprising seeing those signs now. I don't think it's really I don't think we deserve that.
The signs read, important notice. No Manor ISD students are allowed on the premises between the hours of Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. unless accompanied by an adult. For inquiries, please contact the Manor ISD Police Department.
As you get older, that's what most kids look forward to, being able to leave and go off campus and do their own thing during the time that they're able to leave.
A photo of the signs got shared to the Facebook group Manor Community Circle. Many of the comments were from parents or adults who are in support of this, writing that the school shouldn't have allowed students to leave for their lunch breaks in the first place.
I get like us coming here when we're supposed to be in class and stuff like that, but during lunchtime, we should definitely be able to eat wherever we want to eat.
Manor ISD sent us a statement. It reads in part, quote, we've been working with businesses to keep students in school during the day and promote attendance. If local businesses see our students on site during the school day, they inform the police department so they can get them back to class.
If it's just something that happened, why not ban that specific people? Why does everybody have to take up that consequence?
Manor ISD doesn't have a policy permitting students from leaving campus to eat lunch, but the district is responsible for the posters.
If I came in there with no backpack and I'm just, just dressed and they ask me about an ID, yeah, I'm gonna feel some type of way. Cause why are you asking me that? I should be able to walk in here and just get my food.
Thanks for watching the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch YouTube exclusive. Our Crime Watch stories run each Monday on Fox 7 Austin News at 9. For more on the stories in this episode, you can head to our website, fox7austin.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox 7 Austin YouTube channel. And remember, you can also stream all our content and our newscasts with our Fox local apps. They're free to download and available for your phone, as well as connected TV platforms like Roku and Apple TV.